Sega.
What's up everyone, MSK95, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Sonic and the Secret Rings from Nintendo Wii. The very first of the storybook series. Starting the Lost Prologue, we're going to start on paragraph 1. Tilt the Wiimote left and right and collect 50 rings. Alright, let's go. Activate it. Alright.
Hey, wake up!
Boy, is it that late already? What time is it? Huh?
You are the blue hedgehog.
Ah! What the?
Do not be alarmed. I am Shara, the genie of the ring. You know, like Aladdin in the magic lamp.
Don't think I've read that.
What? You've got to be kidding me. It's the best story of all the Arabian Nights. Or at least the second best. But that's besides the point. Please, look at this.
Hey, the page is blank.
Our world, the world of the Arabian Nights, is vanishing.
Vanishing? But how?
This is the work of an incredibly evil spirit, the Erazor Djinn.
Erazor Djinn?
Yes, he used his evil magic to become even more powerful. He could not bear to simply remain in the book any longer. And so he has begun to set the inscriptions free, absorbing the power of the book itself.
The power of the book?
If our world ceases to exist, then not only will those stories be silenced forever, but the Erazor Djinn will then be unleashed into your world.
That definitely sounds like trouble. But what do you want me to do?
I want you to stop him. You must stop the Erazor Djinn. Only you, the blue hedgehog, can do it.
So this guy needs someone to put him in his place, does he? I suppose I can help out with that. It might even be fun. But this is all just something out of a storybook, right? How am I supposed to do anything about that?
That's easy. You are my master, having called forth the genie of the ring. As such, I am able to grant your wishes. Simple wishes, at any rate. Bringing you into the world of the Arabian Nights is within my power.
What? Inside that book?
Now please, place the ring on your finger.
Like this? Ouch! Hey, take it easy.
My apologies, O Master, but now the contract has been sealed.
Contract?
Yes, as Master of the Ring, I am now bound to protect you. Now, rub the ring.
Like this?
Oh, Master of the Ring, what is thy wish?
Achoo! Achoo! How about a handkerchief for starters? Make that a few. Thanks, you're a lifesaver. You see, I caught this cold yesterday and...
Please, be serious.
Okay. Thanks for the hankies, though.
Oh, please, someone tell me that this isn't really happening.
All right, let's go. Take me to this world of the Arabian Nights.
As you wish, Master.
Quit it, will you? My name's Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Very well then, Sonic. The legendary hedgehog. Here we go, into the world of the Arabian Nights.
Okay. Now this is first class. Here we go.
Finally, that cutscene drags on a little bit longer than I expect. I remembered Sonic and Sega rings have long in cutscenes, but I digress. Let's continue. However, movement in this game is different from compared to other Sonic games.
Will move you in that direction.
Yes, and you auto-move forward. This essentially makes it up as a hallway game. Essentially, it's kind of like Temple Run if you're trying to familiarize with how you understand running. You just need to keep going forward. Flipping the Wiimote forward will cause Sonic to go forward. Flipping the Wiimote backwards, for example, will stop him in place and make him go backwards. You can go back and forwards at any point in the game. Technically speaking, this area is supposed to teach you the controls of the game. It's not exactly that hard to figure out. The game itself is very simplistic on how its controls work. However, I'll warn you right now, this game can be incredibly difficult if you're not knowing what you're doing. And we get experience at the end. New mission unlocked. It's a mission-to-mission type game, similar to Sonic and the Black Knight, except instead of a map, it just rings into this sort of layout. It's different than compared to other layouts of other games. If you're familiar with Sonic Unleashed on the Wii, you're probably going to understand how the mission layout works. 3, 2, 1, go!
Press the 2 button
and
release
pressing the
to
2
jump.
button will cause Sonic to jump in midair. Tapping the jump button causes Sonic to do a light top. Holding the button all the way down causes
Hold the
a
2
long-range
button down
jump.
and you can jump higher.
Tapping the moving controls, the controller forward will cause Sonic to do a homing dash. Yes, moving the controller causes Sonic to do homing dash. Let that sink in for a little bit, but you're going to have to get used to it in the very far future, because it's going to be your main method of moving forward. And if you complete the stage at certain times, you get different rankings. Bronze, silver, and gold. The game itself is very simplistic, like I said. It's not exactly hard to understand what you're going through, especially how the game controls work. However, the game can be very... I don't know what to say is, because if comparison to Black Knight and Secret Rings is very skewed, because people prefer Black Knight over the fact that you have just the ability need to swing the sword with the Wiimote versus the controller itself being the Wiimote itself tilting. It's kind of like a trend that started in the 2000s. The worst example probably has to be
Quickly move the Wii remote forward to perform a jump dash.
Yep. I forgot to mention this, but if you hold 1, you can actually completely brake, which actually stops Sonic's movement entirely, which helps a lot for moving around the area, especially moving around new areas. Keep in mind, though, that 1 on brake will cause every single forward acceleration of Sonic to completely vanish. Homing dash is your friend when you want to go across areas, especially when you need to get a movement. The problem with the homing dash is if you press the 1 button, you immediately can go over the ground. Do it wrong, though, and you die in certain circumstances. You just have to be very careful.
No problem.
The game itself, it's not hard at all. The game has a lot of music and soundtracks that it loves so much, especially this is the era when Crush 40 was still doing soundtracks for Sonic games. Homing attacks to defeat 10 enemies is our next mission, and honestly speaking, it's not that bad of a mission. We haven't gone to the nitty-gritty. This is just the prologue. So keep in mind, this is a lot of, like, story focus, less, and more controls first.
You can do a homing attack while jumping when the lock-on mark appears. There's the symbol.
Like Shara said, you need to wait until the reticle is red in order to do a homing dash and homing attack. You cannot do it while the thing is just locking on. If you do it while it's locking on only, Sonic will not be able to do it, instead he'll just do a normal dash. Time your homing attacks appropriately, and you should be able to make it no problem. We just need to get enough of these enemies defeated in order to progress through the stage, then it instantly ends the stage. If you go to the end of the stage without having the requirement of anything completed, then the game automatically fails you no matter what. So keep in mind about that. Now we reach 4,000, new mission unlocked. We're literally just going through the controls. This is literally the most dull thing. I'll put on screen a timestamp of avoiding the actual training missions and doing everything else like this, but keep in mind this video is going to be primarily just doing the controls. So the timestamp on screen will just tell you, hey, you can skip to there and get to where you want. Ready?
Press the 1 button to brake.
Yep. 1 button. Stops your forward acceleration entirely. If you get hit by any of these, since Sonic has no rings, Sonic will instantly die. However, as you notice, there's no lives. Typically speaking, the game itself is actually very forgiving of dying in this game. The only downside is you lose time doing that in other Sonic games. If you're familiar with games like Sonic Forces, you would be familiar with the no-life scenario of just not worrying about lives. The problem is, it causes some players who don't really feel like a penalty happening, causing it to become very easy for the players to just do the same mistake over and over again instead of penalizing them for it. All you lose is time. Back moves to collect 25 points. As I showed before in the first prologue stage, you start the game by automatically going forward, which is what I understand. However, as you notice, the rings are behind us. Tilt the remote backwards.
Keep the Wii remote tilted back toward yourself to back up.
Also, keep in mind, tilting backwards is very forgiving, but it's also quite strict, especially when the game itself controls the way it is.
Just made it!
If you, for example, tilt it way too far, the game will register as that going forward, and etc. So keep in mind about that. New mission unlocked. The game's going to keep going forward of just doing missions until you reach a first level up. Use small jumps to reach the goal. So small jumping is just typically just telling you just to tap the 2 button at certain points. It's not exactly hard. It's not rocket science at all. The prologue itself does drag on along, so I can understand why people don't play this game that much.
Quickly press and release the 2 button to do a small jump.
This is not exactly hard, and it's very easy to do, especially when you understand the controls. You can't go over 10, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to see the number go up.
That was tight!
And this is the first time getting a gold rank. Sonic says that was tight, which is very nice for him. Alright, one more to go. New page obtained. New special book. If you get a gold rank, sometimes you get a new page added to you, which is very good. So if you want to go and get new material, you're going to need to get the gold ranks. Use grinding to reach the goal. I'm going to warn you right now. Grinding in this game is the most finicky thing, and I do not understand why. It's probably because the Wiimote controls are very awkward and unforgiving.
2, 1, go!
You can grind on places that have squared edges.
Pressing the 2 button will cause Sonic to grind faster. Holding the 2 button down will cause Sonic to jump, which means Sonic can just keep going forward very easily. Moving left and right on the controller will cause Sonic to dash over to the left and right. And then when you reach the goal, you're easily rewarded with the mission complete.
That was tight!
We got another gold rank, which you know what that means. Last time we got a page for that, so... However, the main thing, we leveled up and got a level and skill points. Ring bonus at the start, near the game start. New page added to special book. And a new world unlocked. New mission unlocked from that new world.
Okay, so who's this guy who's trying to make the world disappear again?
You mean the Erazor Djinn?
Yeah, that's right. Can you take me to him?
There is no need.
What do you mean?
He's here!
What's that all about? Talk about close shaves. Maybe you know where I can get my quills sharpened too?
Sonic! That's him! He's the evil spirit who is striking the words of our world from the pages.
You must be that blue rat that just got added to the story.
Don't you know anything? I'm not a rat. I'm a hedgehog.
I am Erazor Djinn. I am the one who shall carve up this world as I see fit.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna do that, can you at least wait until I'm done reading it first?
Sonic?
100 of the 1,001 nights have already been wiped clean. And soon, the rest shall join them, night by night. And then, with the 7 world rings...
7 world rings?
You have gathered the 7 world rings for me. Have you not, Shara, my dear?
Are you still going on about that? I told you those things don't even exist. And even if they did, I'd never give them to you.
Oh, Wouldn't you, though? I suppose a suitable punishment is in order, then.
Look out!
Sonic!
Aha! So, this is how judgment is dealt, is it? This should be interesting. You listening? Bring me the 7 world rings before the arrow of flame extinguishes. If you do not, your life is forfeit. Next, I think I shall collect the life of King Shahryar.
The king is the creator of the Arabian Nights and the main character of the story.
With my speed, we'll just have to make sure we get to him first!
So, yep, the story starts because Sonic jumped in front of the attack of fire. So, Go for the Goal is a simple mission. As you notice, it's different compared to the Prologue missions. Now we have access to something known as Skill Rings. Skill Ring allows you to change and customize character. This is the first instance of the Storybook games doing the level up system, but I'm gonna warn you right now, it is not as friendly as, say, Black Knights. While the grinding up to max level is annoying in Black Knight, more annoying in Black Knight, this game follows a trend of it being worse because you have to deal with the controls. Alright, we're starting the game, and a different intro animation. Dash forward so that way you can actually keep your momentum up.
First, let's find the king's palace.
Yes, let's hurry.
Indeed, let's hurry indeed. Alright. Just need to move left and right. This area is familiar
If
to
you have at
deserts.
least
It's
one
not
ring,
exactly hard to
you can
figure
get
out.
hit without being hurt.
And as Shara said, getting 1 ring at all will keep Sonic from dying instantaneously. The only downside of dying, as I explained before, in a previous area, if you didn't have to skip the time skip, is the fact that you don't lose time. That's literally all it is. If you want to get max time and best items, you're going to have to just go at max speed. The problem is, in the beginning of the game, as you can plainly notice, Sonic doesn't move exactly that fast.
That pillar is being manipulated by magic. Look out!
This is a big gripe about the game, is the fact that you have to grind up the levels. The problem with that is, the level grinding is probably the worst in this game. We don't get anything for doing that, unfortunately, so I digress.
Sonic, you can get the pearl by defeating that spirit.
Keep going, and keep going. It's hilarious to see these ghosts die. However, these are known as normal djinns. They're not exactly threatening. Homing attack will just deal with them no matter what. We're not going to get the best speed for Sonic for a while. Keep in mind, this is a long game. As you notice, though, if I tap it too fast, Sonic will start jumping on his own. Typically speaking, I avoid the grind nails like a plague, so keep in mind. Break here. There we go. There is no way to go up there. In case you're wondering, you cannot do this in the first trip. Fire Djinns are far more dangerous.
The red spirits can breathe fire.
Doing 2 homing attacks will kill them instantaneously. And before you ask, you can get that medal up there, you can't get it.
Whoops! Time to make a U-turn!
Alright, so we're dealing with spikes, not exactly hard.
It should be cooler inside.
Doesn't quite look like it.
Nope, doesn't look like it indeed. Just jump over these flames. However, there's something over there. Jump into this.
This red ring is a fire soul.
Fire souls are typically very useful for grinding up levels. It's actually pretty easy. Be careful though, as that could happen. Typically speaking, you want to be very careful about what you're doing with your momentum. If you get hit by a pillar, don't worry, you're not going to die instantaneously. It's just going to suck. I would recommend avoiding the middle area as much as possible because while the middle is technically the fastest, that area is actually a trap slowing you down. was causing me to do that. And now we're on a side section, which is
Make
similar
sure to tilt
to,
the Weevil
oh,
side to
Zelda,
side very carefully.
Wind Maker's little sections that Link has to go through. Don't worry about it too much. It's not exactly bad. Wait until the spikes go out and then go down. Then go across quickly, otherwise Sonic's going to get stabbed for it. If you notice that little railing on the side of it, if Sonic gets hit and falls off, he'll grab that. If he doesn't find have one though, Sonic will instantly die. As I pointed out before, every stage has its own theme and soundtrack. As you can tell right now you are listening to Let the Speed Vengeance from Crest 40.
Huh? What?
As you can tell, the game does a lot more cinematic takes, especially in the Sonic series. It tends to do that a lot. Do not worry about it too much. It's not exactly hard. However, as you notice, our homing dash is not exactly the biggest in the world. So you can't exactly expect yourself to get all the way over to an area, no problem, without any sort of issue. Charge dashing is your friend when you want to get over to Sonic. The problem with that, if you bang against the wall, Sonic will keep going forward. Whoa! Okay, get off. Thank you. I did not expect the grind rail there. You do not want to be on that.
Just past that pier is the town.
Hold the charge button and jump on the grind rail below you. Get a fire soul for that, and it's actually very good after on the last of the stage. Now we just need to get to the end of the stage. Unfortunately, the game's traction doesn't speed up unless you get to later in the game, like I said before. And unfortunately, this is a trend of the game that takes a while. If you want my advice when it comes to grinding levels, keep in mind there's a part in the story you're going to have to get to in order to actually do it. Sadly, this took 5 minutes for us to do, which isn't the best time in the world. We can't exactly have the ability to go faster as of right now. As you notice, the experience bonus from the Fire Souls causes a 1,000 experience bonus. That's what you want to do, and mission bonuses are technically your friend. Completing a mission gives you more, though. Mini Turbo is a ability that lets you move forward for a quick boost. New mission unlocked? New mission unlocked again.
Where is he? Are we too late?
Huh?
What's Dr. Eggman doing here? Aha! I knew it! This is all another one of your schemes!
What is the meaning of this? I am Shahryar, king of this land.
Eggman, what are you up to this time?
Sonic, wait! You're making a mistake! This is him. This is King Shahryar.
Really?
Such insolence! Guards, seize this blue spiky thing at once!
Where are your men, Your Highness?
Oh, that's right. Let me explain. When the evil spirits appeared out of nowhere, everyone turned and ran, and I was stuck having to hide in that jar. No! Help me!
Well, well. Guess it's time for a little action.
In case you're hoping that you do a chase down a pterodactyl, you don't. Sorry, you can't exactly get that. Die Hard Challenge, don't get defeated. Die Hard is just don't die and you don't fail the mission. It's essentially a more extreme, but less so because it's a not a no-get-hit challenge. It's just don't die at all. Alright, so let's start the stage quickly.
3, 2,
With our new turbo boost, hold the brake button. Brake is your friend in these stages, trust me. You want to make sure you get rid of this Fire Djinn and then go on the spring to get the Fire Soul. Typically speaking though, you're gonna need to be careful with these Die Hard challenges because typically they tend to do a lot of other things. And I say typically way too much. Keep in mind though, these stages tend to drag on to a degree. I tend to also wait before the enemy is not in front of me, because even though homing and dash works, The problem with it is the fact that if the enemy is facing forward and doing an attack at you, Sonic will get hit by the attack because he aims for the face. Every time. There we go, we got over there, no problem. Carefully spike balls, because they will hurt a lot. Is actually speaking, going uphill is terrible for Sonic, because, as you can tell, the traction is terrible, especially in the beginning of the game. We got all 3 Fire Souls, no problem. However, as you notice, we did not get a good score. Typically speaking, these stages, the bonus stages tend to have the lower time limits, and it's quite harsh on the player to do so. We completed that, we got 3. You can press the 2 button to skip the experience grinding, so you can get this Pearl Collector. Not exactly helpful right now, because pearls do not do anything right now. New missions have been unlocked, of course. More scanned Oasis. Special challenge, don't break the jar. As it says, do not break a jar. If you break a jar at all, you fail the stage instantly. So yeah, keep in mind about these break the jar challenges. A lot of these special challenges tend to be either good or bad.
2, 1.
And you notice we're going in reverse. Keep in mind though, if you bump into it at all, Sonic will actually break it instantly. It's not exactly fun. Early on though, no jars as of now. However, the game has a weird habit of doing something.
Sure. Let me show you just how fast.
As you can tell, that Fire Soul was above a jar, and I didn't trust myself to not hit it. Out of all the stages, though, these are probably one of the more mean ones. Homing attack does not auto-lock onto a jar, thankfully, so you don't have to worry about the homing attack hitting it by accident. Keep in mind, though, that these stages tend to cause a little slowdown and a lot of bad movement, especially when you have to do no break the jars. As you notice, though, I still hit him regardless of it not connecting. These are not exactly friendly. Hit them. Wait for your timing appropriately, otherwise you're going to get hit for that. Way over there, dash down, and then keep grinding. Alright, keep going. Be very careful at this part of the area, because Sonic will have to deal with the jars on either side. With the Fire Soul, we got all 2 Fire Souls in this. We didn't get the 3rd one, sadly.
Whew, just made it.
The score always ends up giving you the experience that you get, and unfortunately speaking, it's not exactly the friendliest thing in the world. However, as you notice, early level ups are very easy and very not too much of a difficulty. Turbo Boost, acceleration rate to top speed increases.
I thought I was done for.
Tails? What are you doing here too?
Tails? My name is Alibaba.
Come on, Tails. I know it's you.
I'm very sorry. He seems to have mistaken you for someone else.
Oh, it's okay. I'm still very grateful that you saved me. I might not be very strong, but I've still got some tricks up my sleeve. If you ever need my help in return, it would be the least I could do to repay you.
Thank you. If something comes up, we'll be sure to call you.
So, as you notice, a lot of Sonic's friends are there with different names. That is a trend that started in this game. Keep in mind that this trend is something in this game only, so yeah, this game and the other game, but Sonic's used to it in the next game after. Let's just equip Turbo Boost because we need that. Every Sonic character in this game that is technically appears is not exactly as big of a cast. Remember, this is after the whole debacle of Sonic of 6, so they typically tried to keep the character cast down in order to keep the whole Sonic and Stupid Friends thing down. As you notice though, Turbo Boost did help us a lot. We've already started back to our acceleration of a run. Homing attack will actually be able to hit this jar. We need to destroy 5 of them in order to complete the challenge. This is not exactly hard at all. If you want to skip the challenge, I can just show you the timestamp where you need to skip to continue on to the actual story. Typically speaking, though, these stages do drag on, and I'll be honest, this is probably one of the biggest gripes about Sonic the Secret Rings that everyone has. The fact that the stages itself go to a mission style, which don't exactly up the game's lifespan. Avoid the spike balls, of course. Dash panel. Homing dash is your friend. However, if you don't want to go through there quite yet. If you finish the stage immediately right now, Sonic will unfortunately be unable to collect the red soul fires. Typically, the stage tends to hide these in similar locations. And it does take a while in order to find them.
Sonic, I think you can break that page open with a homing stone.
Now you finish the stage quickly, however, they actually were far away.
No problem.
You're going to have to actually skip every jar that you see in order to get to the end of it, in order to see where those red soul fires are. So keep in mind, they're not exactly hard to find. New world unlocked thanks to finishing that mission. There are key missions in the game that causes unlocks. New mission unlocked. However, we can go to the jungle now, thankfully. However, we want to go back in Sand Oasis. There are certain missions that we need to complete in order to access certain other things that we need to have access to. As Erazor Djinn specified, the 7 world rings are the whole trope of trying to find emeralds in this game. So keep in mind. Now we just need to collect 99 rings. I fudged. Unfortunately, I fudged that, so we technically did not get a turbo boost, mini turbo boost. If you want my advice, make sure you time these appropriately, otherwise you're going to fail at this. And keep in mind that these rings requirements are sometimes strict, but also very forgiving. And Let the Speed Bandit is a very good song. I can't think of anything else to say. Man, these stages do drag on. I'm running out of things. Oh, we lost 20. Yeah, getting hit loses 20 rings. It kind of seems similar to, say... Oh, what's the game? Shadow the Hedgehog, where taking damage will cause you to lose a certain number of rings. However, that game tends to be more focused. I really want to get out of this number, because otherwise I'm going to have this number for a little bit. As you notice, though, these rings are not permanent. Because of Sonic's low speed right now, we can't exactly go any faster. It's recommended to continue these stages or continue the story mode. So I'd recommend actually going for the story mode instead of anything else, because right now these stages do drag on a bit. However, we managed to get the 99 no problem, so keep in mind it's actually pretty easy.
Just made it.
The problem, as you noticed, is this. Now we get plus rings, which means now we have every 5 levels gives you more rings. Press 2 moving backwards to do a backstep. Backstep is friendly because it allows you to back up quickly and jump backwards. I would recommend using it if you need to, but I would not recommend doing it very quickly. Now, there are 2 more missions we need to complete. Complete 20 enemies. Since we got a new upgrade, we might as well check to see what we get. Backstab is friendly enough, so let's keep taking these missions. Keep in mind, missions do not mean that you're going to be perfectly more powerful. It's just a matter of trying to get everything complete in order to get everything out of here. There is one thing you need to do, and it's going to be a while before we get there, of course. So let's just finish these 20 enemies.
2, 1.
Homing dash, low jumps are quite your friend in these stages, especially speeds you up if you want the gold rank. However, as you know, sometimes you want to make sure your dash is appropriate. The benefit of having max rings is the fact that you will be able to take more hits from taking damage. That's the only benefit. If you do these quick enough, you can actually stop the fire engines from actually being able to shoot fire at the right times. They tend to cause a little bit of an issue, though. As you notice, though, the fire engines are not exactly a worry, but I argue that less enemies are better. Hold down the button entirely. Actually, up here. Whoa! Okay. This is the perfect opportunity to show backstab. As you notice, we missed those enemies. Sonic break. Thank you. Okay. It's going to be a bit of a tricky task to do, so I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to get these enemies quickly, because that way you can actually complete these. Come up here. Jump up there. Jump up there. Come up there. Wait for it. We missed. Unfortunately, that fire Djinn tends to be very annoying. Wait for it. And there we go. Those Djinn are defeated. We just need to wave at these ones. These, stop. There we go. The problem with these Djinns is actually teleport. So keep in mind that they can be very, very annoying. You're never going to get them on your first shot. I did not notice. Back up. As you notice, though, they didn't hit me for anything. They just, me whacking into them deals damage to me. So, yeah, unfortunately, the enemies tend to stand around and do nothing unless they're fire Djinns. If you heard that sound where the game said the enemies appear, it doesn't. And we're about to be done. Finally, this mission Rampage is not exactly a problem, but it tends to be dragging on a little longer than I would want to. If you were in later game, this stage is actually pretty easy, but I digress. Each level up will give you a new skill. Fire Step increases the attack power of Backstep. What it means by that is if you do a backstep into an enemy, it can knock it dead. Now, Die Hard number 2 is what you need to complete in order to access one big thing. So let's continue on to Die Hard. Alright, we're back on Die Hard now. Let's see what we do. As you know, so the stages get a little more fun, as you notice. Spike is in the wall, areas that are blocked off, etc. These stages do tend to get harder and harder as time progresses, so keep in mind. Timing these jumps appropriately, and the game will throw you a curveball. Yeah, they start teleporting. You have to time your jumps appropriately, otherwise you're going to miss the jump and cause yourself to die. Got it? Alright, we got the Fire Soul, which is very good. Alright, continue on. Keep going. Alright, so it really isn't that hard after you figure out what you're doing. These stages tend to go a different path. Got you. And they're all dead. Careful of these pillars, because they will actually hurt you. You can go on grind rails to speed you up if you want, but grind rails are actually not exactly as fast as you think. You're going to have to wait a while before you can get the necessary skills in order to grind faster. Time these jumps appropriately. After all, those enemies powered out of nowhere. Yep, we got another Fire Soul. Sonic has different animations depending on how he passes the goal. One of these is just him turning around and thumbs up on you. It's not exactly that bad. It's actually quite fun to see how many times Sonic can react to certain actions. And we barely missed the level up, unfortunately. New mission unlocked. There is one more mission we need to do. Beat the clock. Finish within 120 seconds. 120 seconds is doable. It's 2 minutes. The problem with these race the clocks is they tend to always shorten the stage to make it easier for Sonic to actually complete them if you're on a certain path. Keep in mind, though, that these stages do not tend to cause problems. You do not want to hit the springs, actually, because springs actually slow Sonic down. Like I demonstrated, the springs do slow you down, and you notice the top right shows a little timer, which is quite low. And as you notice, though, the timing on the grind rails is a bit finicky. You want to be careful of grinding, especially in these areas, because, well, the stage tends to be funny. Dash here, and dash here. Hold the button down, jump, dash, dash. Indeed. Okay, so let's continue on. You do not want to waste your time with any of these stages, because you want to make sure you're going much faster. Now you have a minute left. The faster you are, the better the rank you get, and the more score you get. So, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, keep in mind these droids are actually still Sonic down, so keep in mind. However, there's no real worry about it at all. We finally managed to beat the stage very quickly.
Whew! Just made it!
And it should give us a level up finally. It took a while. Took longer than I wanted, unfortunately. Quick step. This is your friend. Ground movement left and right becomes smoother. New mission added.
Sonic, look!
Whoa! I take it that's not something you see every day, huh?
That must be a monster summoned forth by the Erazor Djinn.
Shara! Can't you do something about it with your magic?
I'm sorry, Sonic. My magic is no match for that of the Erazor Djinn.
Okay then. Guess I'll just have to deal with him the old-fashioned way. And hey, don't look so glum, Shara. I'll have you smiling by the end of this. And that's not me ordering you as your master. That's a promise from me to you.
Yes, all right.
All right, let's do it!
A promise.
As you can plainly tell, the game is focusing primarily on story, which is something storybook games love doing. Defeat the boss, Sand Scorpion. Let's add that skill because we're going to need this for the boss. Quick step. Perfect. Now our left and right movement should be much smoother around going areas. And you're going to need this for the boss because if you had your normal ground movement, it would suck horribly. Boss stages are different. If you want to compare to, say, certain other games, compare them to Advanced 2's own boss stages. Scanscoping the first boss of the game is not exactly a difficult boss.
The big eyeball on its back seems to be its weak point. Watch out for its tail attack!
You're not going to be able to do anything for a little bit, though. Unfortunately, there's one big issue with the bosses. Time your homing attacks appropriately. If you keep doing homing attacks, you can actually get back to the boss quickly. And the second hit was actually very easy to do. Now Scanscorpion's turned her head around. Homing attack into the eyeball, which causes the eyeball to get hit. Out of the bosses in the game, this is probably the easiest in the game. As you notice, we're already done. This boss seems to be the easy one to actually beat. And it's already over. I wasn't too concerned, but this boss is actually one of the fastest ones to beat.
That was tight!
And we got ourselves the gold rank, which is not particularly hard to do. Bosses, on the other hand, give a 10,000 point mission bonus, which is quite useful, because we leveled up twice. Quick air allows you to left and right movement in the air better. Quick slide is better.
There it is, Sonic!
So that's...
This must be one of the 7 world rings the Erazor Djinn spoke of. Huh? I can't pick it up.
Ow!
When darkness descends upon the Arabian nights, the legendary blue hedgehog from another world shall come.
Me? Legendary? You've got to be kidding. You're gonna make me blush.
When the 7 rings that control the worlds are gathered, the portal between the worlds shall open. But the life of the collector of the rings shall be offered up in sacrifice as the key for that control. That is what is written in the newest chapter of the Arabian Nights.
Say what? I'm supposed to be a sacrifice?
That I cannot say for sure, but I do believe that these world rings hold the key to some kind of mystery. And I think that we need to collect them to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Well, considering that I still have this arrow in me to worry about, I guess I'm in a pinch either way, right?
I'm sorry. It's my fault that all of this is happening to...
Hey, don't worry about it. Besides, don't you know how fast I am? Time may fly, but I'm even faster.
You got the yellow world ring, the first of the 7 world rings. And it's definitely a trend, if you can tell. So, now that we're done with that, we have the dinosaur jungle that we can go to to rescue the king. Man, he must be waiting desperately after how long it took. However, I think we're going to end this off right here. Next time on Sonic and the Secret Rings, we're going to head on to Dinosaur Jungle and find the king. See you guys next time.